Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday night. Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm excited to be here today. Let's see who's watching. Hoping we'll have a few. I've got lots of things to show you today. Hopefully that you'll enjoy what I've got to show you. So I've got a big basket of treat things. So I'll just wait for a couple of people to join me and then we'll get started. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to have a little something to eat before I start because I've got a bit of a headache tonight. Okay, who have we got watching today? Oh, hi Glenda. How are you? So I'm going to just move my basket of goodies out the way and I'm going to show you a few things that I've been working on over the last few days. Glenda, did you get your card worked out that you were doing? Just whip that one out. Oh, Glenda L, hello, nice to see you. Okay, oh, forgot to put brilliant on that. All right, well, I thought that I would show you this little, before I show you how to make some cards, this little loaded envelope that I've been making. And let me tell you, it is loaded. And it's got way too much stuff. I made too much stuff for it. The one you came and saw me about, Glenda, that card. I'm sure you had it all sorted by the time you went home. So let's get started with our loaded envelope. So there's only 2 days left of celebration, so tomorrow and Thursday. And so I thought I better use up the Flight and Airy papers that are at a celebration reward, because I haven't shown you how to do anything with those. I'm a bit, I don't know what I've been doing. I seem to be doing a lot, but I don't know, what it was that I was doing. So anyway, I decided I would use that to create that paper, the Flight and Airy paper from Celebration, to create this loaded envelope. So, do you want to see what's inside? I think I'm going to, regardless, I'm going to show you anyway. Oh, yes. That's the one, Glenda. All right, so let's start at the front, hey? So I've just done, I haven't put all the bling on the front, but I have done a bit. Hi, Jody, thanks for popping by. So this loaded envelope is a piece and a half of cardstock, I think. So it's got an 11-inch piece and you've made little placards for the side so it opens out. And this is, the front is one piece. So the back is three pieces and the front is just one piece. So, hi Jan, thanks for watching. Are you home from your holiday now? Oh. Anyway, let's talk about what's in this loaded envelope. So a loaded envelope is really like I've been making them for years and they're like a pocket, like a gift really. So I thought I would start with just this little gift in the front of my envelope. So this is for someone special. So it's got a new blending brush and a wing Stella just in a little pocket. Nothing too difficult about that. And then it's got all these other little things that they can use. So I started with some tags for the front. Now, this little tag just uses up a little bit of the bird paper that I had left. It's just, you can just stick it onto I would just tie a knot in the top and put it over the top of a bottle or something like that. So it's just really a quick and easy tag. Now these little corner bits were the off-cut bits of this tag here. So we've just got 3 really, really simple little tags and a little gift card. All right, so that's in the front part of our pocket. Then in the back part, we've got a wand, because everybody needs a wand. So I just thought that was really cool. So it's just a rosette with a straw, and I've curled some of the pattern paper. So it's a little bit different to what you're probably used to seeing from me. All right, then there are some cards. Okay, so pop this over to one side here. So we've got our wand and we've got our little gift pouch with some things in it. It should really have a sentiment or something. These I've deliberately left blank. Oh, I put a sentiment on the back of those, but just to, so they've got plenty of room to write. Okay. So then we go to, oh, thank you, Jodie. So then we go to the first card, which is in the back section. Now this is a waterfall card. Now I haven't made a waterfall card for ages, so I'm hoping this works. There it says, "You're amazing, there's no one like you." And I'm going to put, for the person, I'm going to put a little photo. Let's have some random glue there, a little photo in the front. So waterfalls are surprisingly easy to make. I hadn't made one for ages, and once I remembered how to do it, it was so good. So again, using up all of that paper. So this creation had about half a pack of paper. No, a quarter of a pack of paper I used on this. So I've got another little, and this is just a flat card, and this here you can pop your little you could pop a little gift card in that little tag there. So just really, really simple. I hadn't put any bling on it because I was frightened that the bling would fall off. Oh, thank you, Glenda. And then, so this one's just another little card that they can send, and I've got little ink boogers on the envelope, but anyway. So, then another really simple card, and get another simple card, just using up, showcasing all of that paper that you will get for free if you choose that as your celebration option. I do really like this waterfall card. I'm really, really proud of it. And I think that's really nice to spread the sentiment over a couple of pages. All right. So then I also made, to go in that pocket, but it doesn't fit, this one. So I'll move everything out the way. Now this is a pretty interactive card. Now it's got a little piece at the front. Up further. And then it's got a little tag bit there. So you could write a little note there and you can write on your little tag that goes in the front. And then it opens out. So you could put, it's got a little pocket to one side and then another little pocket where you can write a message in there. So I've just taken the colours from the paper, and then this is another, so it opens out like that, and you've got another little pocket, that little flip out piece. So it's a bit interactive. Very, very time consuming to make when you're trying to think about it. But I do like this little bit at the front. And if I had made it later, if I had thought about it when I was making it, I would have put a little magnet behind this one, like, because I've just used the paper there, just die cut it. And I would have put a magnet behind that and behind this piece so that it stays closed. All right, so that was that one. And then I was left with a whole heap of scraps. So you might have seen my pile of scraps that I had. Let's pop these things back in now. Let's see if this one will fit. It's quite thick, so... and I haven't done an envelope for that one, or I might have done, but I might have left it downstairs. So, yeah, so I just think it's a really nice little gift idea for somebody who's a crafter, rather than just a box of cards. I think this would be really nice for a Mother's Day stroll or something like that. And I will take a little video of them all opened up and pop these little tags in there. And because you don't have to do a lot with the tags, like to make a tag. That's just a 2-inch wide strip. And I've just done some, used a corner punch and done a bit of paper tearing, and yeah, so I think it's all gonna fit. All right, so we'll put our wand back in because everybody needs a wand. They do, Jodie. I didn't think about that. And you might be wondering why I keep the length of the ribbon on my tags really, really long. And it's just so that if you want to put it on a present, you've got some ribbon to play with. Like you don't want it super short. So anyway, so I had a whole heap of scraps. So let's go through what I did with my scraps. So this is the first one. So I had a big pile of lots of little offcuts. So I just basically cut them all into squares. Now, I did emboss this, and I wanted to not emboss the centre, and how I normally would do that, it didn't work. So the centre's only partially embossed, but I put the frame on it to try and hide that it wasn't embossed properly. All right, and so that's just a really simple card there. All right. Oh, hi, Marnie. Nice to see you. Okay, then this is another scrap one. You missed the loaded envelope, Marnie. And again, had lots of little strips that were offcut, so I just stuck them onto a piece of cardstock, and I don't know if you can see the embossing. I just embossed it to give it, so it looks sort of a bit like a patchwork quilt. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, how that one turned out. It's just lots of little strips that are stuck on randomly. Then I thought, oh, what else could I do? I had a little square that was left over, so I just put that. So that's just a scrap piece that would have probably ended up in the bin, and I just cut that out. Oh, I haven't finished that card. I haven't put the white in this inside, and this is just embossed and it's die cut, so that's a really, really simple card. Then I dragged out one of my old punches, which is a postage punch, and I had 2 bits of embossed cardstock. So the white is embossed with the textured type, and then the dots is the boho blue. So that was just a really easy way to use up a few bits of scrap. And I had a few more birds and a few more few squares, random squares, so I cut them all the same size, and I had another piece of that there. You can see I've got ink boogers there, but just using that up and using the scraps on the inside as well, just to I don't know whether I like this one or not, so but it was just to show you, well, that's something you can do. You can just use the 1-inch squares all the way along. If you're clever, you'll actually measure it properly. Okay, and then the last one, I had a whole heap of scraps still left over. So I basically layered every single scrap that was left, and I had some circles of birds, and I layered every single one, and so you'll see I had some of this left over from when I did the front of this border on the loaded envelope, and so I had little bits of that left over, so I put those on. Now this note card that I used is one of the celebration items that you can get for free if you put in an order before the end of the month. And yeah, so this one, like I've just embossed it as well. So I embossed it before I stuck the birds on, because I thought I didn't want to make the birds all groovy, if that makes sense. So I didn't want them to be embossed. Yes, Marnie, with the one I don't like too much, this one, I was thinking outside the square with that. Yeah. So anyway, so they are some of the things that you might be inspired to make with the Flight and Airy paper. That's the celebration paper. So this is, quarter of a pack of paper made all of this. So yeah, and most of the time I don't use strippy scraps like that. I would just chuck them in the bin, and definitely a lot of the time all those little scraps I would chuck in the bin. But I'm trying to be more economical, and Kim Heath asked me to share some cards using some scraps. Oh, and I decorated some of the envelopes too, so you've got little offcuts on the envelopes. The envelopes are a bit dirty because I had ink all over me. The other celebration paper, Marnie, I've been making loaded envelopes for a very, very long time, so I don't know where I got the inspiration originally, but there are lots on Pinterest and there's a lot on YouTube. The design of that one, I'll put the lady's name in the comments where I got that template from. Yeah, I have, yeah. Oh, I love uploaded envelopes. They're not something that you could do in a Facebook Live because they take a long time. Like that, I started 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday and I finished it this morning. All right. So there's another paper on the celebration offering, and I just wanted to show you how that paper, like it was just really quick and easy colouring. And so when you make these cards, it's just a card front size piece, and then you just cut it on a diagonal and put the diagonal in the inside, and then you use a couple of the other scraps. So that's a really good way to make a lot of cards really quickly. I can't remember the Softly Stippled, I think is the name of that paper. And this again is another one using the same paper pack, but I've just and basically the same sizes, but I've just flipped the paper over. So that's, I think, the reverse side of that. So they look completely different, but it's still not a bad card. This one I just changed it up a little, used a different colour. And again, I had lots. I'm taking photos of all of these. So these are what I did on Friday. So it didn't take me very long to do a whole heap of them. Oh, I've got a couple more like this. So this stamp set from the mini catalogue got a big workout. I think it's Everyday Details, but I like these three because it's basically the same colour scheme, but very, they're very, very similar. And so I had some scraps. So I then made this one. So that's the only stamping on that card is the sentiment. And even like make sure you decorate the inside with these scraps. This one had these scraps here, so use that Everyday Details die to give it a bit more interest. And then another one of the little cups. And then from the same stamp set. So this is almost the same card. This one's got a white base, but then dimensionals and layering make it a little bit different. So I just wanted to show you those cards before I got on to tonight's card, and it's one card fold 5 different ways. Well, I'm not doing 5 cards, so I'll take photos of these and you'll be able to have a look at them. Yeah, I like the vase ones too. Which one do you like, Marnie? The left or the right? So the one that's raised up, which is this one, or the right one that is flat? It didn't take long to make all of those cards. The colouring was the thing that took a long time. And but that was lots of fun because you can colour while you're watching TV. All right. Now, I did miss one. I missed 2 actually. So this is again used a different colour. So this is, I like the egg. I think I really like that one. So I need to tell you about Coffee Cake and Cards is coming up next week. The week after. And at our last, we missed that one. At our last Coffee Cake and Cards, this is the card that we made. And you'll see it's really, really flat. And it's flat because I'd run out of, or thought that I'd run out of dimensionals. And then, so when I got home, I made a second one. So this is a triple time stamping. But I just wanted to show you the difference that just having dimensionals behind your sentiment makes on a card. It makes it just pop out that little bit more. Don't know if you can see how different the popping out is, how much it makes it pop. So really little simple tips. That's my favourite too, Marnie. Yes, it has been a bit busy, Jodie. Glenda passed on Saturday afternoon and she saw the state of my table. So, yeah. There's this Saturday we have mystery stamping, so don't forget to join in for that. So it's online, so you can use whatever craft supplies that you have. I'm going to use today for this project, I'm going to use this Sunny Days celebration paper. And I want to show you this. So this is again another paper you can get for free. This is 1/4 of a pack. So let's have a look. So I really love these rainbows. And then on the other side is some green flowers. I haven't quite worked out how to use those yet. And I only opened my 1/4 of a pack this afternoon. Hey, Judy, lovely to see you. You have to watch the beginning when you have a look at my loaded envelope. So this one's got strawberries. So I probably wouldn't use the strawberry side, but I will use... And you know, when I looked at these, I thought they were bees, but they're actually butterflies. So I will use the butterflies. And there's this paper, which is like a poppy. And when I saw this, I thought if I need Susie, who's a florist. And on the other side is suns. And then this one, I've used part of this one. It's got clouds on one side, and now this coordinates with, and don't ask me which one, coordinates with one of the paper, one of the stamp sets and dies in the mini catalogue. And the last paper, and I've only got a little bit of it left, because I've pre-cut, has got poppies on one side and this petal pink on the other. So let's get started with our, so again, this is a celebration paper, so you've got until Thursday 11:59 PM to put your orders in. And just remember, when you order over $50 with me, you go in the draw for, or go on the board, and when we fill up the $50 board, you go in the draw for a $50 voucher. All right. So how is everyone? I haven't even asked that. So Jodie, Marnie, Judy, Glenda and Glenda, how are you all? I've had so much to show you. I'm just going to put all of these bits away. Now, every time I look at my loaded envelope, I have to show you again. I just love it. I think it's just so cool. And I love the little wand. Oh, good news. Our air can... Speaking of hot, Jodie, Our air conditioning guy is coming tomorrow. Doesn't mean that it's going to fix it, but yeah. All right. So let's get started. We've got, these are big quick cards. 33 overnight. I think it must be about that here now. I don't know, Jodie. All right. So I've got my card base. And this is, and I am using less than half an A4, and there's a really specific reason for that. Now, it is 8 inches wide by 5 3/4, and then I've scored it at 2 inches and at 4 inches. So when you go to fold it in half, it's really easy to fold, okay? So we want to make it as easy as possible for ourselves. So that's why it is 8 inches wide, all right? Okay, so we're going to, oh, we're missing Megan tonight. Oh, I'm looking for my bone folder. And I did have one. There it is. So we're going to fold it in half. Use our... So I've got it in a few different colours. And so I'm going to fold this piece back. So it'll be like a Z fold, I guess. I'm going to show you. So this is a really good foundation for 5 different fancy folds. Hey, Megan. So this is Z fold. Yeah. Trudy, it is definitely a Z fold. But it's a... We're doing it 5 different ways. I have to show you what my husband just bought up for me, because he knew I'm starving, and he bought up some papadums, but they're really crunchy, so I can't eat them while I teach. So anyway, so it's how sweet of him. All right, so we're going to start with the easiest one. Actually, I've got a few that are partially done. We're going to start... Actually, we'll start with a red one first. Red? No, we will start with a blue one. Yes, you will. You will know when you nibble on them. That's why I'm not going to. All right. So, as I said, I'm using a celebration paper. So I've cut my first piece of paper, and this one is cut to 5 3/4. No, sorry, 5.5 by 3 3/4. And we're just going to pop it inside. We're not doing a whole heap of layers on this one. I want to show you how simple a fancy fold can be. All right. Okay. What did you say about the crunch away? No. Steve had the day off work today. He wasn't very well. So that was I was a bit worried that he spent most of the day on the couch, but he was binge watching. He said he had a headache, but he was binge watching For All Mankind on Apple TV. It's actually really, really good. So I'm just sticking that on the inside. And then, yeah, I know you don't mind. Then I've got the reverse side of it, and I've cut this one, because remember this piece here is 2 inches across, right? Because we scored at 2 and 4 inches, right? Oh, is there a toe update? So the strapping is off my toe. And when I went to the doctor yesterday, because he's been away since August, he's been on sick leave. And so it was the first time I'd seen him since August, and he hadn't received any other x-rays or anything. So I've got another appointment with him. It's a bit crooked, but it doesn't ache all the time. So I'm sticking this piece on here. Now, we've got this piece for the front. Now, I want to just have a bit of a contrast. Actually, I have this piece. No, I have to do it this way. This piece for the... no, he's not, Marnie. He's really quite young. He's younger than me. He's been really, really sick. So, it's been a concern, and, yeah, I went and saw one of his colleagues, and it stressed me out so much that I refused to see anyone until he was back. But he has made up a plan so that... Yeah, so this piece is a square piece, and it is 3 3/4 inches square. And then I've got a piece of designer series paper. So I'm picking out, and whether this works or not is a whole different kettle, but I'm picking up the pool party from both the pieces of paper. So I'm hoping that they look okay together. And I'm not really worried that most of this will be covered up, right? So I think most of you know how to create a Z-fold card, but it's the basic Z-fold. I think most of you know how to do it, but it's when you take that fold and make it into something completely different, that's more right. So I think that works okay. I've got my a piece that is so this piece here of petal pink is the same size as the pattern paper, and so that is 1/4 inch smaller, and I didn't stick that on real straight, but anyway, you get it. So it's 3 1/2 inch squares. So this piece is 3 1/2 inch square, and this piece here is 3 1/4 inch square. So I'm just going to layer that 3 1/4 inch square white onto my petal pink piece. Can you see that? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I've got I did have some dimensionals. Oh, I do. I've got a few little random ones. So what I'm going to do is just with this one. Now you can make this any size that you like. I'm just going to grab these dimensional corners. Oh, I just looked over and there's a whole heap in the other drawer. So I'm going to flip it vertically, right? So, and I only want my dimensionals on the left-hand side, right? So if you're new to card making, this is really, really important. And I know that some of you have been card making for a long time. So I'm using up all these edges of our... And what I find easiest to do, rather than work out where the middle is, I'm going to just pop a strip where I think the middle is of the card, top to bottom. And I'm just going to layer this on. Okay. Now, should be straight it might be a little bit crooked, I don't know. It doesn't really matter, remember. So now I've got the front of my card. So what I need to do is get some adhesive and put it on the back of this petal pink piece. And I'm just going to lay the petal pink piece, adhesive side up, on the, so that it's equal distance around here. And then when I close the card, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Didn't come out quite how I wanted to say, and I stuffed that up. But it's okay. I didn't do it straight. So we'll just try again. Let's just try again. I hadn't stuck it too hard. Let's see. Oh, you can do it that way, and it should work out straight, but sometimes it might be that I haven't stuck that piece on the front straight. So I've just straightened it up a little bit. So there you've got, this is hidden behind that front piece. Just ignore everything I did on that one. So I've got a sentiment. Oh, I got smudged. Oh, well, that's all right. We'll fix that up with a bit of bling. And we're just going to put a sentiment on the front. Now, this is from the Heartfelt Hexagons. Now, there is a hexagon stamp set as one of the celebration items as well. I don't have that. So this is the closest thing I'll have to that. And I'm using this because it was a punch and it was easy. All right. So whether or not this is the best card that I've done today, probably not. Now we're going to use these little embellishments, which are part of the celebration offering as well. And look, they go perfectly with the paper. So I take my pick tool, and what colour shall we use? I think we might use, our pool party ones on each side there. Just sort of hold it down. Now I will go back and I'll replace that. So I'm just showing you this so that you see that even experienced stampers like me managed to absolutely mess it up. So I've got 2 on the front. Now, you know, I'm a bit of a stickler for odd numbers of embellishments. So I'm going to put another 2 on the background paper. And then, actually I put another 3. I'll put one up here. And again, I've put it in like a triangle shape so that you can see that those 3 embellishments form a triangle. So that's our first really quick card. All right, so let's talk about how we might have changed that up a bit. So if you wanted to, I've made the second one already. So exactly the same fold, but I've used a much bigger piece of cardstock on the front and just put a piece of white on the inside. So you've got your red, a white, another white, your pattern paper, and your poppies. So just by changing this size of this here, it completely changes the way that the card would look. All right, so we've got our first 2. let's have a look at card number 3. So I've partially started this one. I was going to finish it, but I had to go to the grocery store. Alright, so what if we change the way that we folded our card? So instead of it folding back that way, we fold it this way. Alright, and make it stand up. So this is sort of like an easel card, one variation of an easel card. So let's see how we can put this together. So I've got a piece of petal pink here. I'm going to put a bit of white on it. As you can see, I've done some stamping already and punched them out with the hexagon punch. Love that punch. Best punch ever. I'm going to pop this on here. Now, you'll see that this keeps falling forward, so we want to have something for it to tuck behind. Alright, I am going to use this pretty plaid, I think they call it, side of the paper. So I'm just creating a bit of a contrast here. So I've got 3 layers just to add a bit of interest there. Now what we want to do is we're going to stick it onto the front, but we only want to stick it. Now also make sure that your pattern paper is going in the right direction. So I cut a piece at the top and then I've cut my next piece, and you'll see that they actually line up there. Alright, I'm going to make it really, really simple. Let's find some more dimensionals in the drawer here. Okay, so we don't want to stick anything on this piece here. Alright, but what we do want to do is we want to raise this up. So I'm going to grab 2 dimensionals. So I'm sort of going to eyeball it. So that's about where we want it. There. So I'll put 2 dimensionals where I think I want it, near the fold, so that I know that I'm not going to stick anything up there on the plain bit. Then I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the bottom of our square, and I'm going to pop one in the middle of this piece here too, just in case. So we're just going to take the backs off. Okay, and I'm just going to add this, centering it left to right and top to bottom. And so we've got like it's almost like an easel fold. So we want to have something that holds that up. So I've got, now this is a really important part, is you want to put a sentiment or something there, but you don't want it to be flat because you want it to hold your card in place. So you can have it in the middle, or you could have it at the left or the right. Now, what I find really useful is, like, you take all your dimensional backs off, but then you pop a little, yes, Glenda, the Z fold is veritable and it is versatile, yes. I'm going to pop another dimensional over the top of all of these. So when I pop this in the center, it holds that piece back, and then you can just like close it like that, and we'll put our Let's Eat cake on the front. And look, I've stamped it on the other, I stamped the good one on that side. Now, I'm not doing a lot of, like, these are just my mass-produced cards, so I'm not doing a lot of prettying up of these today. I'm just doing the absolute basics to show you that you don't have to spend a whole day, like I did, making something. I'm just going to put that down like that. So grab these pretty little rhinestones and pop these on. Yeah, so I hope everyone's week's been good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I am going for my first ever float at this city cave. It's one of my dear friend's birthdays, and we always do something on her birthday, no matter what day it is, unless she's in Canberra. And so we're doing a float. And then we're going to have brunch. So I've been working every day trying to get everything done so that I can go with her and have this float tomorrow. So I'm really excited, and because my back's been sore, and yeah, I'm a bit nervous because they say that you're supposed to be naked, and I told her I like her dearly, but we're not doing a couple float because I don't want to be naked with her. So anyway, so this is our second card. So it's just a little easel. It's a really simple variation of an easel card. So what if we took that card and changed the front of it slightly? All right. So, I will let you know how I go. So this one here, I've got my card base, which again is my 8 inches scored at 4 and 2. And then I've got a card front, a piece that is exactly the same size as the front. So it's a 4 by 5 3/4. Okay. I've also got 2 pieces of white, and these are 1/4 inch smaller than that front piece. And I've got a piece of pattern paper, and that's 1/2 inch smaller than that front piece. All right. So we'll just pop this piece in. This is a really easy bit. It's the bit that goes on the inside. So we're just going to make that nice and easy. Oops. So this is 5.5 by 3 3/4. Hi Fiona. Oh, you had a vinegar mishap in the pantry. Oh, that would smell beautiful. All right. So I'm going to layer these two. Right. Oh, I'm nearly out of this one. It's on its last. Lucky I've got another one. Oh, no, that one's empty too. Lucky I've got some glue. Right, brand new glue. Now, when your glue gets almost empty, don't throw it away straight away. I've got a big pile of different glues, and what you do is just cut off the end and you scrape out any excess, mix it with a little bit of water, and you can make a spray glue. I'll have a video up of that fairly soon. Okay, so I am just popping this on here. Now I've got this ribbon. I thought I had the frayed ribbon, but this isn't it, but it'll do for now. It's a retired Stampin' Up ribbon, but it's the same width as the frayed ribbon from the annual catalogue. So we're going to pop these 3 layers together. Okay. Now this is one of the simplest cards you will ever make. Okay. The only thing difficult about it will be whether or not I'm able to tie a bow tonight. Okay, so I've got my ribbon. Usually when I'm using ribbon, yes, I do use the other end, Megan, not often. If I'm doing something really fine, I would use the other end of my glue. But because it sits up like that all the time, so, well, actually no. Most of the time my glue sits like that, but, yeah. Usually when I'm using ribbon, I would be quite frugal with it, but because this is a retired ribbon, I am not going to be frugal with it. I'm going to grab a couple of glue dots. I don't even have my grit paper down today. I'm absolutely... So I'm just going to grab a glue dot there. If you could use, if you had pretty petal pink ribbon, I used to have some gorgeous petal pink ribbon, but I've run out. If you had some pretty petal pink ribbon, that would look really nice, or even some Poppy Parade, that would look great. So I'm just gonna tie myself, whoops, see, I jinxed myself. I'll grab my grab another glue dot and put it under where I want my knot. Oops, it's not supposed to do that. All right, and so I'm going left over, right and under, and then I'll just have to bring it a bit closer. So on it, just a nice flat knot. So when you do left over right and under, then right over left and under, you get this really nice flat knot. We're just gonna trim off the end with my ribbon scissors, and which have got glue on them. How did that happen? So, my apologies to anyone who sent me messages or emails the last 4 days. I am a bit behind in my admin and looking at emails and messages, and I apologise for that. And tomorrow, it'll be Thursday before I get to my computer, because after I have my float with my friend tomorrow, I'm going to see... to the hospital to see my, well, she's not really my aunt, but we call her my aunt, because she's really unwell and not expected to come home, and she's been a friend of my mum and dad since all my whole life, so I want to go and see her tomorrow, and while I have the opportunity to, so that's I apologise if you're waiting on me for something. I just am a little bit behind with things at the moment. Okay, so and yeah, she's probably one of the last 3 of my parents' remaining friends. So it's really important that Mum and I go see her. Okay, but yes, what I'm going to do here is on this front section here, I'm going to put lots of dimensionals. Okay, so yes, my apologies if you're waiting on something for me. It'll be Thursday because I am, as I said, behind in admin. And I did spend some time today on admin stuff. It was the class's website, which didn't progress quite how we planned. All right, so I'm just sticking that piece on there. All right, so we've got our card there. It hasn't, so we're letting the paper do all the work, right? Yeah, thanks, Jodie. She's probably one of my favourites. She's been through a lot, and yeah. Yes, so we need to see how it's slipping forward. We need to put something on here that will hold it up. So let's see what we have. I'm going to take just a little strip of this pattern paper because it's got the puppies on it, and find my trigger. Right, put that the right way. I'm the only person you know that uses that end, and I just think it's easier to spread when I use that end. All right, so I'm just going to use kind of 1-inch piece. All right, and I'm going to grab a piece of scrap cardstock, which I happen to have some here. Oh, this is thick white. And I haven't stamped on that, so let's put a little stamp on there. So let's use this one from the Heartfelt Hexagon, which is where most of the sentiments have come from today. We're going to use the For You stamp. And I'm taking a punt that it will fit. All right, so before we cut this, let's stamp it. Now, I don't have my piercing mat here at the moment, but I do have from my box, my block caddy, I've got a piece of foam. I'm just going to put that down. If I had my, what do you call it, piercing mat, I would use that, or if I had a mouse pad, I could use that as well. So I'm just going to put my Memento ink on, and I'm just going to let it sit on there for just a moment, because it is a what do you call it? It is a fairly new photopolymer stamp. I like to be different, Megan. Does that answer your question of why I do it? That might. So So I'm just going to stamp that and see if that stamp's okay. Oops, they're out of the picture. Sorry about that. No. I'm going to try again. Let's flip it over to the magical other side. Oh, you're going to do the reptile technique. Oh, that'll be good, Megan. I can't wait to see how you go. I want to see photos of your swaps, though. Who else is going to on stage? I'm not going this time. I'm a bit sad about that, but apparently I can't buy stamps and afford to go on to backstage, on stage as well. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off the very bottom of this piece where I've stamped it. I like that, how that one turned out. And what I'm doing when I'm trimming, and I don't know if you can see this, move that way, is on my trimmer, I'm lining my top of my word up with the very top of that, the plastic groove. So then I know exactly how I'm going to do that. Oh, how I know exactly I've got it in the right spot. And I've done the same here, which you probably can't see. All right. And I need to trim that side down as well. Oh, lots of bits of paper in there. Just make sure that that's all lined up. All right. So that looks pretty good. Got my piece of pattern paper. Okay. I'm going to keep that fairly big. I don't know what shape they are. I think they're almost an almond shape, Megan. So this one is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to keep the other one at 2 inches, I think. Yeah, that's going to be a nice big border around it. Okay, move that card out of the way. Whoops. Yeah, my nail man hasn't been there the last few times that I've been because his wife had a baby, and so I've had to see other people. I feel like I'm cheating on him. But anyway, hopefully he'll be back soon. All right, let's just pop this in the center here. So I've put the For You on dimensionals. And then I'm going to flip it over. And we've got, this is our second last card. So got one more after this. So we will have seen 5 ways. Thank you, Marnie, for watching. Hey, I know, Megan, right. You should bring the baby to the shop. Because the other staff bring their kids there on school holidays. So, although I don't think I'd like to expose a baby to all that dust. All right. So I'm just I put 1 layer of dimensionals on here, and I'm just going to pop that in the corner there. So I've only put 1 layer there. Oops, I've squished it up. Okay, so that's just going to hold that in place. And let's put a different embellishment on this one. Let's try some little brushed butterflies. Well, thank you, Fiona. They're not always lovely. Some days they really need doing, but thank you, you're too kind. We're going to put a few brushed butterflies just to make it blingy. So I'm going to have one big one. Oops. That one's going to go where it wants to go. I think we'll just have 3 on the top here. All right, night Marnie, and then I'm going to put 2 down the bottom here, just to add some interest down here as well. Because you can never have too much bling, hey? Well, I think that that's Jodie's motto, that we never have too much bling. All right, so you can see, even though this is the same type of card, they look quite different, don't they? So you could make a whole heap of these ones using up all your pattern paper. So Glenda Small, I'm looking at you. And your quest to use up all your paper. This, I would make a whole heap like this. Okay. And keep any scraps, and you can make them. So we've got one last card to go. How are we going for time? I don't even know what time it is. Oh, we're a little bit over time. Sorry about that. So we're on to our very last one. So we've done 4 so far. Do we like those 4? Right, we're on to our very last one. This one needs some bling on it. I might put a couple of butterflies on that. How about we do that before we put it away? And I don't normally make sympathy cards, so I'll just put that there where I'm going to use the brushed butterflies here. And I think that butterflies and dragonflies are really nice on sympathy cards because they're just a bit peaceful, I think. Okay. You'll be using those 12 by 12 papers soon, 1 sheet, 1 card. Well, I sent you a few ideas the other day, so I can't wait to see what you do, Glenda. All right, so we're on to our last one. Now, I've partially... he's probably thinking he'd have taken hostage. No, he's not. So, this card here I've partially done. I've only got to put the sentiment on it. So this one is, again, very, very similar. So at first glance, you might think it's the same sort of layout as that, right? So it's got an extra layer in there. But then, when you look at it a bit more closely, this bit here isn't attached to the front. Okay? So I'm just going to put a sentiment on that, and then that will be done. So we're going to grab the For You stamp back again. And I'm going to stamp it on a different coloured piece. I'm not going to be boring and stamp it on white. I'm actually going to stamp it on... Do we want to stamp it on Petal Pink, or do we want to stamp it on Pool Party? Okay, what do you think, folks? Petal Pink or Pool Party? not use that one. You struggle putting DSPs together on cards. Yeah, I totally understand that, Glenda. I think sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, because Stampin' Up, usually when they design their pattern papers, they design them to go together. So I would never in a million years have thought I'm going to put petal pink and red together. Would never have thought of that. But quite a number of the pattern papers that Stampin' Up have done, they have put those two colours together. So that gives you permission to go a bit rogue, I think. So yeah, that's, and usually the papers in the pack you can blend them together. So like the plaid looks really good with, well, I think it does, with the flowers. And those two different types of flowers, two different flowered papers, are the same types of flowers. So that's what ties them in. Well, that's what I think. So does that help you at all, Glenda? I hope it does. All right. So I actually had the base for another one done, but we're just going to use that. I'm just going to use that strip there. Actually, I'll cut off a 1/2 inch strip of that. I won't waste as much. Actually, I'll cut off a 3/4 inch. Okay. So hopefully I'll be able to line this up. Let's see how we go. We've got a Memento black ink. And I think traditionally when we used to do scrapbooking, there was, oh, you didn't put spots and stripes together, and you didn't put all sorts of things. There used to be all sorts of rules. And now a lot of those rules are just gone. All right. Oh, that's pretty good. I had that straight. Okay. I probably should have left a little bit more room. But that's okay. And if you look at the card that I did with all the scraps before, it has no rhyme or reason of why I did the different scraps that I used. So because I want to use up some more, actually no, I'm just going to stick this on without using up. And don't tell anyone I'm using my ribbon scissors to cut adhesive. All right. I'm just going to layer it flat, but layer it on dimensionals, sorry. Long day today. And I'm just going to pop that down here because I don't want to cover up those pretty colours. So let's pop that down here. Now, if I was really smart, I would have put maybe a white border around it, but it's okay. I had, now that I look at it, I did actually do that, but it takes up too much. So what I can do is, because I've already stamped that, I'm going to stick that in that little flap there that's open. And I'm using the flat end to smooth my glue so it's nice and flat. So, and Megan's going, no, use the other end, come on. All right, so they've got somewhere to write. We need some bling on the front. Let's use some more butterflies because they're so cute. I reckon these brushed brass butterflies, fancy saying that fast, are just the cutest embellishments. Okay, I feel like the camera's a long way away from the, oops, I want another little one, a long way away from the card. Yeah, I was doing a video the other day, Jodie, and do you think that I could say it? I just couldn't. All right, so that is our 5th card. So we've got 5 completely different looks using the same fold. All right, I like this fold. This is probably my favourite. Followed closely by the easel card. Now apparently you can do step cards as well using this same fold, but yeah, I love easel cards, but this is a really great way, especially this one here and this one here, using up lots of paper really quickly. All right, so that's our 5 ways. So everyone, I hope you have a really great rest of the week, and I hope you enjoyed seeing our the loaded envelope at the beginning. Now remember, celebration ends Thursday. I'm putting in orders on Thursday, so if you want anything, make sure that you contact me before about 7 o'clock, and if I don't reply to a message, ring me, because it will be that I haven't seen it. Like I just had a message today from someone. It's like, I'm sure I replied, and then when I went into my messages, it was like, whoops, it's still sitting there because I forgot to press send. But yeah. But anyway, so Fiona, you can watch it on replay. So, and I'm still in the process of uploading all my old videos to YouTube. So it'll be available on there soon. So if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, there is some different stuff on there that you wouldn't have seen before. So make sure you go and have a look. And be sure to, if you like tonight's video, share it and like it and tell people about it, so that other people can learn how to make nice cards. All right, until next time, happy creating, have a great rest of the week, and bye for now.